Hi guys, Ron here. A quick update today from my mountain biking career. So this is the state of the bike that I have it in now. As you can see, it's not ideal for racing. The reason for that is, I've shown you that in a previous video. This bike was outfitted with the one-piece integrated stem, which bolts basically through the bottom of the forecrown into the stem directly. This is a Cannondale specific design, and the previous owner forgot to include one of the spaces in there, and there was play in the fork, or in the headset rather. When I tightened it properly, the thread in the head tube went through the stem and ruined the threads in both. So what I had to do was to saw off the bottom part and take the whole assembly off. So I was stuck, basically without a head tube or a stem for this bike. Now this wouldn't be a problem if it was an ordinary bike. Obviously with integrated parts it's not so easy to source replacement. So I ordered my parts on Monday and I thought, well, I'm okay, the race is on Sunday, should be fine. Well, it would have been stress-free, but unfortunately there was a bank holiday on Thursday, so that took one day down from the delivery, but luckily I managed to get my hands on all the parts that I need. And since I had to order some parts anyway for this bike, I decided to do a couple of upgrades. So the first thing I wanted to change were the tires. Not because those Vittorias would be bad, but they're full of old dried up sealant, and that makes them pretty heavy, and they're not the lightest to start with. And I've read really good things about these Schwalbe Rocket Runs, so I ordered them. These are in the new Addix compound, speed grip for the front, speed for the rear. So these are the tires. They're 120 grams lighter than the Vittorias on stock for both wheels. So I think with the new sealant and stuff, that should save a good chunk of weight. And they should also roll a bit faster. And a fresh rubber is always good, particularly when you're talking off-road riding. Then as a replacement for the head tube, the OPI stem, it's not the most user-friendly option, to be honest. So I found this Leonardi Racing head tube, which makes it suitable to fit any sort of standard 1/8 inch steerer stem. So this has no threads on there. It just goes through the lefty clamps into the head tube, and then on top of that comes a regular stem. The stem itself is a Ritchie unit, so this is the WCS line, quite high quality, but as you can see, the most important bit about it is the fit. So this is a negative 25-degree stem, 110 mm in length. Now unfortunately I haven't been able to ride this bike too much, but I had literally no drop with the standard stem. This should drop the bars around 5 to 6 centimeters compared to that, and it's also 2 or 3 centimeters longer. So this should make for a more racy setup, not a tourist setup like it was before. And it's also much easier to live with the standard stem. In this configuration you also need an expander plug. This is a very light one from Carbon TI, very nicely machined. And an absolute black top cap cover, looks quite neat in this black anodized finish. And it's not a separate bolt, it's the whole thing is CNC machined, so should be nice and pretty light as well. Then I wanted to change the bottom bracket bearings to Kogels. This is basically a BB30 bearing, but to much of my annoyance they sent me only one bearing. Well, I ordered a set, so for the complete bottom bracket, of course, you need 2 bearings. There was just one in the box, so I'm pretty pissed about that, but this is not super important, but still, never mind. Then what I also have here is a DT 54 tooth ratchet ring system or assembly. Why did I want to choose that? Also different springs. So why do I want this? Now the bike or the rear wheel is outfitted with a DT 350 hub, which is, well, not a super expensive or super light option. It's but it's a reliable performer. The one thing that's annoying about it is that in stock you have this massive float in there, you know, it's just an 18 tooth ratchet ring, so that creates 20-degree engagement. And that's just huge, you know, if you're riding off-road some technical climbs. This is very, very annoying, so I decided to switch that for a 54 tooth chainring for blisteringly fast 16-degree-ish engagement. So that's another upgrade. And then finally, actually two more things. So I also got my hands on this brand new Finish Line never to dry out tubeless sealant. So I'm looking forward to trying this in the new tires. Previously there was some weird green sealant in there, or not green, but it's kind of yellowy. It doesn't look too good and it's pretty dry as well, so I'm going to put this one on there to test. And finally, some ESI Racer Edge silicone grips. I'm not a super weight weenie, you know, these are probably the lightest grips you can have, but I really wanted silicone grips, so yeah, they kind of fit into this application. And I wanted the very thin ones because I have small hands and I like to have, you know, a good close grip on the handlebar. I also tape my road handlebars to be quite narrow, so yeah, this should provide the small diameter I need. And also they're in a black color, so dirt doesn't really show up on there, unlike these very thick and dirty foam grips that I have on here. Okay, so these are the parts I'm going to change. I think with just one bearing I'm going to leave the bottom bracket alone, unless it's creaky or something. The bearings were in quite good condition, so I might leave that for now. Another thing I had to upgrade or modify was to put some gripper tape in the bottle cages so I don't lose bottles when riding off-road on descents. Okay, so without further ado, let's just fit these parts and hopefully make this bike race ready again. Okay, the bike is now ready. Cockpit assembled. One thing about the 25-degree stem is that your Wahoo, or any computer for that matter, won't be level but slightly slanted, but still readable, I think. That's another major issue. ESI grips, nice and tacky. New tires, set up tubeless with the new finish line sealant, so that should be very effective. The dock here. Yeah, nice and quick engagement now at the back. Brake setup, gear setup. I think we should be ready for my first cross-country marathon. So if you'd like to see how that goes, then don't forget to tune into the channel and subscribe. It's all for today. Thanks for watching and see you next time.